All right, today I'm back and I'm talking with an agent who brings the energy, the grit, and results to everything she does. From capping fast at eXp to running the Boston Marathon. If you've ever wondered how to build your business through relationships and discipline, you're going to love this one. My guest today is Jax Crerar, a realtor with eXp Realty and part of the Wolfpack community out in Boston. And in just 5 years, she's built a thriving relationship-based business powered by her sphere. And she's already capped with eXp. Outside of real estate, she's a Boston Marathon finisher, showing that her success is built on consistency, training, and mental toughness, both on and off the track. So, Jax, I'm excited for you to be here. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Meg. It's so nice to see you and to be here. And what a beautiful intro. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited that you're here and to talk about your successes recently and in the past. And I just love what you do. So I think this is going to be so great. So now you've been licensed for 5 years. What first drew you to real estate, and how has your approach evolved since you started?
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually started because prior to my real estate career, I was a luxury wardrobe stylist. So I was always helping people my whole career. Prior to that, I was a gymnastics coach. And my thing was always I wanted to make people feel great about themselves. And when I was at my last job, it was like the Bergdorfs of Boston. They closed. I was kind of scrambling. And at the same time, my grandmother in Argentina started buying property in the States. So I started doing property management for her. And we had an agent almost lose our key. And so for me, that was the mic drop moment when I thought, okay, if this agent is going to make $1,000 off of this rental, I could do this better. So I got my license and went straight into rentals because I live in the greater Boston area. We have 33 colleges and universities and the best hospitals. So we're a big renters hub. And I knew this was an easy way for me to transition from luxury fashion into homes and then build up to a luxury clientele and like luxury homes.
Awesome. I love that. I think you are the third agent I've talked to now that kind of got into real estate based on their own experience with an agent that didn't fulfill what should have, the expectation. So that's so great. And I love your background. It's so unique and just a little different, which is what makes you so wonderful. So you've built your business primarily from your sphere. What is your strategy for staying top of mind and turning relationships into consistent closings amongst the people who know and love you?
My thing has always just been be my most authentic self and find ways to help people, my community, whether that be my friends, my neighbors, the guy who owns the bodega. I'm always asking people, like, what's going on? How can I help you? How can I promote your business? So, I used a lot of social media to push out the fact that I was a new realtor. And every time I went on a showing, I would capture all of that on social. And so that's kind of how I stay connected to my network, is constantly tapping into people who are liking my stories or commenting, hitting people up randomly and asking how things are going, seeing how I can help. That's really just being a conduit of good in my community. And then I think naturally people think, oh, my friend Jax is amazing. She does this. She can help you with that. And I mean, that's led me to some incredible places, like helping one of my girlfriends find a salon on Newbury Street, which is like the most coveted street in Boston, like the Rodeo Drive of Boston. So, part of being at this company, I've been able to kind of navigate other avenues that I never thought I could do just by doing rentals and helping people I care about.
That's amazing. And I love that you were able to help your friend with this one. That's so cool. And I love that you kind of doing something a little bit different in the rental industry versus resale. I think that's really smart considering the type of market you're in and the type of people that you have there, because it is a big rental hub.
Yeah, it really honestly was the biggest blessing for me because I think The imposter syndrome as a new agent is such a real thing, and to try and absorb all of the facts and things that come with buying and selling can be really daunting, especially if you're transitioning to a new career. And I went full in. I didn't have another job. I had no other options, and I saw rentals as a way that I could get my foot in the door and do enough business to survive. And unfortunately, that's not something that all agents in every part of the world have access to. But I just leaned in, and I just knew that I could do a much better job coming from my hospitality and luxury fashion background, using that white glove service to kind of elevate the experience for people and make it easy and seamless and friendly and fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think especially with rentals, because people get, I think, kind of lost after you check out one rental and it's like one management company, then you check out another rental and it's, so it's nice that you're able to kind of help them navigate multiple options versus dealing with somebody with each resident. So that's amazing. I love that you do that.
And there's so many different types of properties, and unfortunately, we have a bad reputation of having bad management and bad landlords. So, being in this industry for a while, a lot of international people have come to me because they can't come here to do the tours. And I've been recommended by past people from residency programs from Mass General or some of our other big hospitals. And to know that you feel safe with a real person is so incredibly valuable moving to a new country, a new city you've never been to. So I think a lot of my sphere has come from just past clients feeling really safe with
Yeah.
me and
Yeah.
then passing my name along.
Yeah, that's amazing. You do a wonderful job with it, so it makes sense. And so when you joined eXp and the Wolfpack because of the marketing that we offer, how has that shift changed the way that you run and promote your business compared to before?
So before I was at this little rinky dink mom and pop rental place. And the biggest reason for me to move was really the commission split because I was at a 50-50. So just moving to eXp, I gave myself a raise. I became my own boss. I didn't have to worry about someone else's name out there. I could really market myself my own way. And when I was interviewing the other brokerages, it really felt like there was no opportunity for me to differentiate myself from the other agents. And when I came to eXp, I had spoken to a couple other people, but until I had met Mike Sherrard and seen his turnkey marketing system, it really felt like a totally different company because what Mike gives us for ad value is by far the most expansive and current options of what's happening in the social media realm. And I was always kind of privy to social media. I always had fun with it. So this was just another way to just fast track some like really important steps and how to kind of connect with people in a much more richer and deeper way and be more educational about the products that I'm selling, the areas that I'm in, and kind of give everyone a inside scoop at the lifestyle, but also the business. And just watching our other business partners in different parts of the country and different parts of the world has been super inspiring and has kept me motivated to stay in front of the camera, to continue to post, because I think that's a big daunting task for a lot of agents. They see people doing silly dances or getting on trends, and our group really isn't about that. It really is about, showcasing the homes, but also showcasing the areas and giving insights and tips to help other agents and also buyers and sellers.
Yes. Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. And we do have, the proven systems and the information and we are always not just staying updated, but I think we're very innovative. Like it's almost futuristic. Like what we get to learn, we're sometimes ahead of the rest of the industry. And so I love that you touched on that because I think it's important. And that's why we do have so many agents who are able to do what they do now.
Yeah. Well, we
And you
also have people that are tapped in to AI. So I feel like our collaboration within our group has also given us insights to things that we would have never had access to, even at eXp, just because we are so, everybody has their own unique niches and people are so open to sharing and helping and collaborating. It really has kind of fast tracked a lot of these avenues I wouldn't have had time to research.
exactly, yeah, we get the benefit of those agents who've kind of they've invented their own wheel, and we get to learn how to do that instead of trying to reinvent our own. So I agree. And we've used those systems, and so you've used those systems, and now you've capped. So what habits, systems, or mindset helped you hit that achievement so quickly? Because it's such an incredible milestone, and I'm sure it feels so good. So what did you do to hit that so quickly?
I mean, I wouldn't say it was quick because it is my fourth year here. But I just think the consistency and showing up every day is my number one habit. Everybody always has their why, and mine was always just to kind of succeed and help people. And, obviously being able to survive in a tough economic time. But for me, it's now like I see what other agents in our group are doing, and it inspires me to do so much more. And it's opened up conversations with agents and other and customers and clients to see that the world is not so small and you can dream anything and we can make it a possibility. How can I help you get there? And I think that's really more of what the shift was, is that, my first $1 million client was this year, and that came from a parents who were renting a place for their college student. And I told them, you should just buy a condo and then you'll be able to either sell it and make the money back, or you can rent it after they leave. And the
Right.
following year, they took my advice and they got a 2-bedroom condo close to Northeastern. And they really trusted the fact that I cared about them. I was consistent and I showed them, you're going to put 30K in the hands of your landlord, or you're going to make 30K or more, in
Right.
investment property. So I think the education piece about, what you're using your money for and how you can make the money work for you, and just navigating different conversations on what's your 5, 10, 15-year plan versus just what are we going to do the next 6 to 12 months and then move on to the next client. That's never really been my business model. So really just kind of, I don't know, unearthing a little bit more from each client on what their dreams and aspirations are.
That's so great. And I think it's much needed, that kind of education, because sometimes people don't understand it. But yeah, I think you kind of hit the money right there about what it is to have a habit and systems in place in order to be able to be. It doesn't just come. It doesn't just happen, right?
Well, and it's hard. It's hard to show up every day. And in a business where your business is 24/7, we all have those days where you feel guilty for taking a day off. But also even on your day off, we're still working. So,
Yeah.
and just kind of trying to ride that balance, I think for me has been crucial of, I'm okay. I'm showing up everywhere I can for my business, for my clients, but I'm also taking the time for myself to regroup and rest and connect with my people. That's been a little bit more of a focus for me this year, and trying to integrate that more in my business moving forward.
That's so great. That's so great. And so you were also a Boston Marathon runner. So you
Yeah.
clearly know about discipline and endurance. How do
Yes.
you translate that same mindset into your real estate career, which kind of touches on what we were just talking about too?
Yeah, I mean, I think the discipline part for marathon running is just to not give up. And that's as simple as I can put it. I was never a runner. I was actually a gymnast, but my grandfather was a runner his whole life. And I just was so inspired and wanted him to see me run Boston once at least in his lifetime. But, you know, I started out doing 30 minutes before I started running miles. So I think for me, the discipline portion is really like, how can you chunk things down into the smallest bites and get through those task lists instead of overwhelming yourself with these big, grand ideas and, it can get very overwhelming, especially if you're dealing with multiple clients at once and you have things coming in. Just kind of bringing it back to the simplest parts and just making sure that you're getting things checked off every day and being grateful and giving yourself grace that you did those, and not continuing to get swallowed up by that wave.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's really important. But being a runner, that's hard work. I mean, it's not everybody, it's definitely not my my thing. I was very much the strength trainer, not so much the runner. I always tell people, if you see me running, you should probably be running too, because it's fine.
Yeah, I was always a sprinter. So for me to end up doing actually two marathons was kind of crazy, but I think part of it is genetic and the other part was, this is my goal and I'm going to finish it at all costs. And that's really, if you can just keep the goal in mind, you will finish. You just have to believe that you can get there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, shifting gears a little bit into marketing, what does your marketing strategy look like right now? And how has the Wolfpack supported and helped you level up your branding or even like your reach?
I think before my business model was really just photos and captions. And so I think people like Suman or Noah really inspired me to do more video. And then I just started to have more fun with it.
Yeah.
I never really was somebody that got into trends. So it was really just about the visual appeal and then educating people on properties. And, I've hit almost 500,000 views on some of my TikToks. I still get, so surprised if something hits over 10,000 views. But now I'm seeing clients actually reach out and close deals with me from TikTok. So I think that in itself too, and even the clients are giving me the feedback like, I love your videos, make more. So
Yeah.
I think it was really before I was not so shy to be on camera, but I just didn't have the confidence and the know-how to express what I was doing in my business clearly. And I feel more confident in doing it now, especially after, watching everybody else grow their channels.
Yeah, I actually remember you and I at eXpCon last year talking about you leaning into TikTok this next year. And so I love that you did it, you followed through, and you're seeing success off of it because I know that's hard. It's not an easy task. I mean, people think, oh, a 30-second video, that's no big deal, but it is not easy. And it's not just the planning, it's like the energy levels that it takes to make all this content it can be draining sometimes, but your consistency is it's there and you can see it, and obviously it's paying off. So I love that for you because I remember that conversation so well.
Yeah, and honestly, that trip to Miami at eXpCon kind of lit a fire under me too, just to be around so many heavy hitters in our group and just everybody's championing each other, saying like, I know you can do this and giving you the confidence. It really did. I feel like my business really took off after I left eXpCon, and now we're just weeks away. So what a difference a year makes. I think it's really important for people to kind of go to these events because it really does reinvigorate your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love eXpCon. I don't think I'll ever miss one since I went to the first one when I started. But It is a really great just experience altogether between the learning and the networking and
Yeah.
everything in between. I mean, it's got something for everybody, which I think is what I really like too, because I have agents that I talk to who are like, I'm not really big into like socializing, or the trainings sound kind of boring, but it's like you have so many options to go, like so many different reasons. So, but
Well,
yeah,
and you have got to come with me to our international ones because I just got back from Barcelona, and man, I can't tell you how intimate that was. And you really make deep connections with our international partners, which is something that I'm super focused on for my future. So,
yeah,
definitely an exciting place to be at a company that's growing globally.
I'm gonna have to look at those ones for next year because I would love to be able to do that, and we can go together. So now for agents who are still trying to figure out their own path, what advice would you give about consistency and staying focused even when results don't happen overnight?
I think my biggest advice for people would be one, make sure you're at a place that breeds that kind of environment of, support, collaboration, and inspiration. Because I don't think I could have even been at this place, 5 years from now, had I not joined eXp. I
Yeah,
can't tell you how supportive people have been for me, helped me, lifted me up. These people are closer to me than friends. It really is like a family, and I think without that support, it's really hard to keep your head up and put your nose to the grindstone and continue to show up every day, especially when you feel like you're comparing yourself to someone else. I never feel that way. When I'm here with you guys, I know I'm an individual. There's no other Jax. No one else could ever do what I do. And everybody supports and loves that about me and my business. So I think that's my number one advice. Make sure that wherever you hang your license, that the person that is your broker and your mentor or sponsor, whatever, that they really care about you doing well and making sure that you have every opportunity to do whatever it is you want in this business. Because I didn't know that I was going to rent a salon. I didn't know
right.
that potentially I was going to help someone buy a property for income in Dubai. Like, these are all things that happen naturally because I showed up and I listened and learned, and I communicated that to strangers I had never met before. So I think having an environment where anything is possible is your best chance at surviving this business, especially when times are tough. And, there's always going to be ebbs and flows and dips in the market. If you're at a place where there's always another avenue for you to win, you will always be able to win. But if you're at a place that stifles your growth and does not support whatever your vision of your business is, it's going to be really hard to get up every morning and really want to win.
Absolutely. I actually couldn't agree with you more because I think that's important. And that's, I think, where I don't know if luck is the right word, but EXP does that. I mean, they make it to where what do you want to do with your business? This is what I want to do. Okay, here's a plan for it, or here's some support for it, And in the Wolfpack, we have that as well. So that's where it gets a little bit, those relationships get tighter, right? Somebody who is probably might be doing that already, or maybe something very similar, and you have the support there. So I think that you hit that
Yeah.
perfectly.
Well, this is a yes company and not a no company. And for me, that means thriving and success.
Yes, yes, I agree. And so, what is next for you, both in business and personally? How do you see eXp and the Wolfpack playing into your future vision?
Well, like I said before, I have family in different countries. So growing the international portion of my sales business is top of mind for me. I would love my anniversary for EXP is March 1st. So the first goal would be to icon. So I have 18 more transactions to go. So hitting that would be the number one thing that I have left to do before this calendar year ends. And then after that is really beefing up my international business and making sure that I'm able to help people in every country that we are in, and also helping agents in other countries get to know about eXp so that I can have those partners and go-to people around the world, because I would love for my business to just be me showcasing those agents in those countries, those locations, and really building awareness for that area.
That's perfect. And that's very I can vision you in that space. Like it's so you. And I think that is just wonderful. Well,
You.
thank you so much for sharing how you've built your business with heart, hustle, and consistency. You are a perfect example of what happens when discipline does meet opportunity. And for those of you watching, drop your biggest takeaway in the comments, hit the like button, and subscribe so you don't miss more stories like Jax's. And if you're ready to take your real estate business to the next level with marketing, systems, and community that pushes you to win, click the link in the description to book a private Zoom call with us, and we will help you build a business that runs as strong as you do. And for those of you who would like to follow along with Jax, her profile links will be in the description below so that you can watch her grow as well. So thank you so much, Jax. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Meg. So great to see you. See you very soon.
Yep. Bye.